2 days after doing Machu Picchu, we left for a 2-night, 3-day stay in the jungle outside of Puerto Maldonado, part of the Peruvian Amazon. Unfortunately, in terms of what we'd see, our actual experience would prove to be different than the experience promised to us by our itinerary. Perhaps even more unfortunately would be our predictable collective reactions. I think the best way to describe our disappointment is represented by Faith's expectations, given that she genuinely thought we were going on an African safari and would be seeing the likes of fucking lions and giraffes. Spoiler alert, the Amazon is not synonymous with Africa. Wow. Well, if this is Amazon living, count me in. Minus that trek and my one ruined pair of shoes. Once again, I'd succeeded in making a poor choice in clothing. Note to self, when going to the Amazon, do not wear Vans. What a name for what a place. When we got to our lodging, little did we realize we would be sleeping at the fucking Jungle Hilton for the next 3 nights. Given the fact that Kat and I had already had a run-in with bedbugs at a hostel resembling most meth labs, needless to say, this was not the type of accommodation we were used to on a backpacking budget. You know, I was wondering I was so poor from this trip already, 1 month in. Things are starting to make sense. And the bedroom. As you can see, there was mosquito netting on the beds to protect us from the bloodsuckers. Prior to getting to the Amazon, we'd all gotten malaria pills. Once we got there, though, we were informed they were unnecessary as we'd be more likely to contract dengue fever. So that was a comforting piece of news. And a see-through shower. Okay, Fernando, go.
Hola. How are you? So welcome to the rainforest. Now you will know very well about the Amazon basin in this area. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. Loving the shoes, loving the look.
Loving my camera.
Loving the shoes, loving the look, loving my camera. Fortune 500 companies, give us your best bid for this catchphrase. Regrettably, this camera would end up being one of the top 3 most intriguing things we'd end up seeing on the entire trip. Another morning out on the trail. Unfortunately, because we're in the Amazon and there's bugs everywhere flying around, you have to wear a long sleeve shirt, which means I'm in full-on spandex outfit. Living my life as close to naked as humanly possible at all times. Also, just to clarify, my boot situation right now, as you can see, are 2 slightly different sizes. So, another day of high fashion, coming to you live. But as you can clearly see, when trekking the Amazon during rainy season, 2 different sized rain boots are better than no rain boots at all. Oh my god. Hiking through the jungle. Our squad back here having a little chat. Fernando had to stop and tell us to be quiet or we won't see any wildlife. So I guess it's just us in the mud, chatting with the mud. Obviously, by the fact that I'm still commentating, Fernando's advice was taken only mildly seriously. Perhaps this explains the lack of wildlife we would encounter over the next day and a half. Or perhaps that could be attributed to the fact that this part of the Amazon is just generally desolate. In hindsight, the latter seems to be a more accurate assessment.
Finally get here, an hour later. Faith has sustained a forehead bug bite. As a response, Kat has put on this. Meanwhile, as per usual, Emma's still in this Billabong hat.
And the ever-enticing sport of bird watching takes off with a blast of adrenaline.
Nothing like a little bird watching.
And the specimens. But since GoPros lack the ability for extreme zoom, here is the virtual evidence of what we were witnessing. Despite the professional quality of this camera, the constant commentary was that she wished she had a stronger lens. The constant commentary from her husband? No, you don't.
After a day of bird watching, we're returning cleaner than ever.
After overindulging in lunch, we went on another trek. According to the ever-elusive itinerary, we were meant to see a collection of specimens, the main attraction of which was a mass of wild pigs. What did we end up seeing? A single baby bird. To be honest, I think this ended up being primarily our fault. Predictably, we got there, and after more or less 6 minutes, we began badgering Fernando about where all the wildlife was. He then left to go scope some out for us via telescope. What did he find? A baby eagle in a nest, the perspective of which was naturally skewed by a branch. Less than impressed, we returned to the treehouse, and what happened? A horde of about 75 wild boars was stampeding past us about 50 feet away. The course of conversation went as follows. Fernando, look, they're coming! Us, no, Fernando, they're leaving. Fernando, oh no, they're leaving. This series of events ended up in Faith literally crying as a combination of both severe disappointment and severe laughter.
So tonight, we're taking a new route on the Amazon. We're going crocodile hunting. Crikey! Nobody wants to go. We're all tired.
There's Faith. Agreed. Cat with the head torch.
Let's see what the jungle brings us. Crikey!
Prior to embarking on our Cayman search, we'd been given a slideshow introduction on the alligator-like animals, the most impressive statistic of which being that they are primarily visible at night and can get up to roughly 20 feet long. What did we expect to see? Something reminiscent of the animals in The Crocodile Hunter. What did we end up seeing? Something more reminiscent of the newts that they find in Matilda. Literally, they were less than the size of my hand, as you can see by the fact that you can't see them at all. Predictably, here's Emma's response to the entire event. Sleeping.
Day 2. Going up the canopy. Race it to the top. That's right, Cat. Sing it. So this is what the Amazon looks like from above. not sure if this structure is regulation size or sturdiness, but... Oh, here we are, perfect fit.
So friends, I'm going to explain to you about where we are situated now. The forest normally divided or split in 5 levels. So the first one is herbaceous layer, the grass and herbs. The second one is the understory birds, for example, the harpy eagle layers, macaws, the toucan.
But then again, despite our lack of interest, in direct contrast to our group reaction, there was this response.
We're currently going 2 miles an hour, maybe less. Spirits are at an all-time high. We were just told the otters aren't out today. What a surprise.
Came to the Amazon to see a couple birds. Lake.
Not just a couple birds. Big fish are over there. Here we are. I know what you're thinking. We've moved a lot in the last 30 seconds. But we haven't.
Oh shit, we're going in. Going into the underbelly of the tree. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Faith, am I gonna fit the questions of the day?
Oh, it's cool.
Oh, cool clubhouse.
Guys, this is fun. Here we are. Oh. No, I don't think so because I've never really tried to climb a rope before. These shoes are not
Here, I'm reliving the height of my elementary gym class athleticism. Rope climbing. Although, in hindsight, I'm not sure if today allowing 8-year-olds to scale a string attached to the ceiling, sans any real precautionary measures, would be something the great state of Ohio would condone. But alas, this is the Amazon and not Broadway Elementary School circa 1998.
Just whatever comes naturally, Kat.
And just when I thought I'd had my moment in the sun,
Doing it.
Kat proved that climbing a vine in the jungle isn't
Yeah,
really
you're
all that
climber,
impressive.
fine.
After such an adrenaline-pumping morning, we opted out of the other activities of the afternoon, including but not limited to an ethnobiological tour, thus concluding our adventures in the Amazon as we left the next morning.
Leaving
And with
Peru,
that, it was so long, Peru.
walking across the good old bridge.
Hello, Bolivia.
Bolivia.